Today I'm sharing 5 productivity hacks that you've likely not heard before. So if you want to get more done with less time and feel better about the whole process, watch this. Uriel King here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur, New York Times bestselling author. And for the past 20 years, I've been building 7- and 8-figure businesses online and helping thousands of other health experts and coaches do the same. A big part of what I notice, especially working with busy experts like health professionals, is that they're very busy, but yet their income doesn't reflect that. So they have no time and they have, not the money that they want. And what that tells me, and this might apply to you, is if you're working really, really hard, but you're not where you want to be financially or time freedom wise, then you're likely spending a lot of your time on the wrong things. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways where you can get more output for any given input, which is essentially a measurement of productivity. Because it's not about working more, it's about working smarter and looking at how we can set up your environments and your workflow to help you win when things are crazy. So let's dive in. So the first one that I want you to think about is a lot of us have like a to-do list. What I want you to consider is having an anti or a not to-do list. So as a starting point, you can take out a sheet of paper and I want you to write or draw a line right down the middle. And on one side, I just want you to write down stop doing. So these are all the things you're currently doing in your business that you know intuitively or just, on a day-to-day basis that you probably should stop doing. Because it's very hard to build a $1 million business doing $10 an hour tasks. So you're doing things right now that are probably not the most valuable use of your time. To the best of your knowledge, I want you to just write those down. And so when you look at your sheet of paper, you're going to have 5, 10, 25, 50 things maybe that are on the stop doing list. Then keep it visible to you, because whether or not you can delegate that or hand it off to someone else at this point in time is less important. The most important thing for you is number 1, awareness. Am I clear about the things that I'm spending my time on that are not really moving the needle? Am I spending 3 hours a day designing graphics in Canva? Am I fiddling around with my website when that's not really my zone of genius? So once you have that list of not to-dos, now you have clarity about the things that are zapping your time, that are taking up, the amount of juice you have to give to your business that are not producing the revenue that you want to produce. So for instance, if you're making, let's just call it $100,000 a year, and you have a list of 50 things on that not to-do list, what's happening is those are the things that are keeping you trapped below $100,000 a year. As you start to get those off your list, whether you stop doing them completely, and there's a couple things you can do here. One is you can delete it. You can get rid of it altogether. Does it even have to be done by anyone? If not, delete it. 2 is you can delegate it. Do you have an assistant or someone on your team who is a better fit for that particular role? If they can do it and it's a better use of their time than yours, delegate it. I'm not going to go into what you should and shouldn't delegate in this video, but that's a very, very important topic that I'll save for another day. 3rd is you can just do it. Now, in this case, we're trying to identify the things that we don't want to do. So in this case, it might not be kind of a quick little thing. We're looking at things that we just want to get rid of altogether. So as you start to knock these off your list over time, what should happen is if someone else is doing it or you're just getting it off your calendar altogether, you will naturally have more time. And in that time, here's the key thing though. With the time you're freeing up, you must replace that time with higher value activity. As an example, in a coaching business, you need to have conversations to enroll clients. So let's say you have 5 hours a week spent in client delivery that is not needed. And it's extra stuff that's not moving the needle. I'm not saying working with clients on delivery is not important, but maybe there's an extra 5 hours in there that you're like, I don't need to be doing this 5 extra hours. You take those 5 hours out. Nothing changes with client results. I'll give you an example. So many years ago, I was doing a daily coaching call for our HBA clients, 7 days a week. That's 7 hours. I noticed that it wasn't really moving client results. So I'm like, okay, let me just chop it down to 3. And guess what happened? Client results didn't get any worse. They actually got a little bit better because we had better systems and support around that. So there I saved 4 hours, 7 hours to 3, 4 hours. So imagine you do that in your business, but the key is what you do with those 4 hours. If you take those 4 hours and you put them on the front end as an example into having enrollment conversations, Maybe you have 4 hours of conversations to enroll 2 people. If you charge $5,000 each, that's $10,000 you've now generated by freeing 4 hours a week from delivery. So this is an example of making a list of stuff that's probably not serving you at the highest level, delegating it or deleting it. If you get it off your calendar, can we replace it with higher income generating activities? Because now you can break through to that next level. So step 1 here is really thinking about a not to-do list. Okay, so the second one here is you're gonna have some stuff that is gonna take you 2 minutes. You may have heard of the 2-minute rule before. If not, basically here's what it looks like. If it takes you 2 minutes or less to do it, just do it. So a lot of times, and I'm really guilty of this, and just for context, I almost failed graduating university because of this, is I would look at things as something I did not want to do. And I thought of it as like this really big mountain. I turned a molehill into a mountain, and I ended up procrastinating forever. And what's interesting is when you look at a lot of these things we procrastinate on, they take little to no time. So for instance, maybe it's actually just looking at an email and doing whatever the email has to, like whatever we have to do, whether it's, paying for a kid's soccer registration or responding to someone really quickly or clicking a link and really quickly filling in a form, like whatever it might be. If it takes less than 2 minutes to do, just get it done, because there is nothing heavier on our minds than the weight of unfinished tasks. Think of your computer with 1,000 tabs open and all sorts of files on your desktop. You have all of these open files and open tabs and incomplete things. And then it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming for you, but it's also overwhelming for the CPU. If you are into computers, not that I'm a computer nerd, but I know the basics, where if you have a lot of applications running at the same time, it slows down the computer's performance. Very much like this. If you know in the back of your mind, you have 5 unanswered emails in your inbox, and you have a couple incomplete tasks that will take you hopefully no time at all, just get them done. You will have a sense of freedom and lightness because you have these things that are now complete. And if you're someone who likes to check things off your checklist, this is one of the easiest things you can do to feel better about yourself, to feel more productive, and to feel less weighed down. Hey, we'll get back to the video in just a moment, but if you're enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button below. It will help me sleep a lot better at night. But more importantly for you, it'll help you build your dream a lot faster. So go ahead, subscribe, and we'll get back to the show. The third hack, and I've talked about this many times before, is really identifying the golden hour for deep work. I'm very biased on this. I believe for almost everyone, it's first thing in the morning. Number one, I don't know anyone who feels more energized and creative at the end of the day. If that's you, kudos to you. Maybe that's your golden hour. Generally, early in the day, we get up from sleep, where the batteries are refreshed, we're recharged, and that's the time where it's quiet. If you get up early, I get up typically between 4 and 5 every day. My kids are sleeping, it's dark outside, there's no noise in the house. I put my headphones on, it's just even quieter, and then I get into it. I turn off all the distractions, phone is away, I block whatever sites I don't want access to, and I get right into creating. I'm writing, I'm creating. That's the magic of what you bring to this world, is your ideas, your thought leadership. And I think, from my experience, is first thing in the morning is the golden hour to make that happen. Whether you have 1 hour, whether you have 3 hours, it doesn't matter. But you want to make time for yourself every single day, 7 days a week. John C. Maxwell, one of the probably most prominent thought leaders in leadership, he's written 92 books. He's not 92 years old. That means he's written more than 1 book a year for his whole career. So someone was asking him, John, how did you write 92 books? And his answer was, well, every day, I do 5 things. Now, I can't remember the 5th thing, so I'll give you the first 4. So I read, I listen, I ask questions, and I write. And the guy's like, what do you do on the weekends? He's like, I read, I listen, I ask questions, I write. What about vacations? I read, I listen, I ask questions, I write. Get it? Okay, every single day. Now, the thing he also clarified is, notice I said every day, not all day. So it might be a paragraph one day, it might be, a couple pages the next. But the key is building this consistency and doing the most important work first thing in the morning. Think about it this way. I was never a morning person. Okay, so it took me a long time to get to the point that I've kind of been at for the past 10 years. So what I started to realize was if you wake up 1 hour earlier every day, 7 days a week, and you use that 1 hour on deep focused work, check this out. Over the course of 1 year, that is 9 full-time working weeks that you've added to your calendar of focused work. That's 2.5 months of undivided attention on the most important things that are going to move your business forward. So it's a really simple way to move big projects forward, and it also allows you to get your creative juices out when you're freshest, when you're most energized. And if you're not a morning person, don't worry, you will become one once you kind of get into the groove and you feel how good it feels to have your most important stuff done by like 8 in the morning. So I would strongly encourage to focus on your deep creative work first thing in the morning, turn off all the distractions. You can thank me later. And the fourth hack to becoming more productive here is a decision diet. You probably remember Steve Jobs would wear the same thing all the time, right? Black t-shirt, jeans. I have a good friend who I think is one of the smartest minds in marketing. His name is Dean Jackson. And I've known him since I've been online for 20 years. And every single time I've seen him in person for 20 years, he wears the same thing. Long black sleeve type of shirt and khaki shorts and a hat all the time. No exceptions. I've never seen anything different as long as I've known him. And a lot of entrepreneurs do this because they realize that if they don't have to decide what they're going to wear, they get to save that brain power for other things. So think about what are some areas of your life where you can reduce making decisions. So I'll give you a really simple way. This actually can help in a lot of different facets of your life. So when I work with my assistant, Becca, on travel, I actually don't book any of my travel anymore, but I love travel. I love airplanes. I mean, I'm a big airplane nerd. So I could tell you if it's an A330 flying overhead or Boeing 787. If you're like, what are you even talking about? Don't worry. So needless to say, I'm very particular with my travel selections, if you will. So I thought to myself, if I know how I make decisions when I book a flight, why don't I document this? Okay, on this aircraft, I want to be sitting in row 4 at the window here because it's further away from the bathroom or whatever. And so we all have decision-making processes. If, then this, right? When, then, or when this, then this. So if you can document, like for instance, for me, I documented all of my travel preferences. And so now Becca, she books all of my travel. I don't even know what's happening. And that's a beautiful thing because I don't even have to think about it. So it allows me to save my brain power for other things in my life. That's just one example. Another example is taking out an index card at the end of the day once your work is done. And you're going to write down the top 3 things for you to focus on tomorrow. You do the decision, you think once. You decide now, so then you get up in the morning and you just get right into it. So think about in your life, where can you make decisions once? Or where can you reduce the need to make decisions through proper documentation of SOPs? Or like, here's how I do things. Because when you're running a business, the most important thing you're doing as a CEO is making decisions. And a lot of times things move at the speed of your decisions. So if your business is not moving fast enough, most likely there are decisions that you're lagging on, right? And one of the things you can do, again, we're just talking about some basic things, kind of just personal life here, but also make a list of all the decisions that are unmade. What are things you're still thinking about or undecided upon? List those out and then start attacking them one by one. Just make a decision. Because by not making a decision, you're making a decision to not make a decision, and then it just weighs on you. So think about how can we make decisions once? We call it think once. That's one of our principles. And then how can you document other decisions you're making so you can hand some of it off to automation or someone else for you to do at some point. Okay, and the 5th productivity hack I'm going to share with you here is this idea of like a 5-minute fake start. So you may have heard people talk about like, I don't want to go to the gym. It feels overwhelming, like blah, blah, blah. It's like, just put your shoes on. Just start there. Don't worry about going to the gym. Just all you got to do is put your shoes on. In fact, just put one shoe on. Or instead of thinking about I have to run 10 kilometers, just tell yourself, I'm just going to run for 5 minutes. That's it. So what we're doing here is we're taking these big, grandiose projects or objectives that we have, and we're just chunking them down, right? So the saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's kind of what we're doing here. So instead of saying, oh man, I got to go for a 10-kilometer run. Well, number one, I get to, right? So a lot of people who can't even walk, I get to go for a 10-kilometer run. But again, it can be like, man, like maybe I'm not in the mood. Okay, cool. I'm just going to commit to 5 minutes. But the thing is, once you get the ball rolling, you have the juices flowing, now you have momentum. Momentum is a very, very, very powerful thing. I talk about this in sales. There are 3 really big core objections for why people don't do what they say they want to do. I'm not going to get into it here. I've got another video on the channel about that. But beyond, above that, it's apathy and fear. And apathy houses two of the three big core objections. Apathy is basically, I don't want to do anything. And apathy is another way of saying momentum in the wrong direction. So all we're trying to do here is we're just trying to create forward momentum. Don't worry about writing 10 pages. Just write one sentence. And then once the keyboard's going, then it's like you're in momentum. Okay? And don't worry about the full workout. Just get to the gym. Don't worry about the 10-kilometer run. Just go for 5 minutes. So think about how can I quick start my project, my activity, with chunking it down to the 5 minutes that you can commit to if in your mind it seems like a really, really big deal. So there you go. 5 productivity hacks you may not have heard of before that will help you get more out of your day in less time, and more importantly, reduce a lot of the mental bandwidth and a lot of the garbage that's in the back of your mind from like unweighted decisions and all sorts of stuff like that. If you've enjoyed this video, remember to subscribe to the channel. If you're a health expert or coach who's looking to scale your coaching business online, you may want to check out our $1 million health coaching roadmap, which is somewhere over here. I'll walk you through our entire business model that we help our clients use to help them grow 6, 7, and even 8-figure businesses online without the grinds, without the guesswork, and with a lot less reliance on the one-on-one. If that's of interest to you, check it out, and I'll see you there.